You slept last night. You know you did. Your body was in that bed for 7 hours. Something that looked like sleep happened. Your eyes were closed. The room was dark. The alarm went off at the right time. And yet, within 10 minutes of waking up, you were already tired again. Not groggy, not the kind of tired that coffee fixes. The other kind. The kind that sits behind your eyes like a weight that belongs there. The kind that makes you look at the day ahead and feel something you cannot quite name. Not sadness, not fear, just a heaviness. Like you are starting every morning already behind. And here's the part that makes no sense. When night comes and you are finally supposed to sleep, you are wide awake. Your body is done. Your eyes are heavy. Every single part of you is begging for rest. But your mind has other plans. It wants to revisit the conversation from this morning. It wants to rebuild tomorrow 17 different ways. It wants to find the thing you said 3 weeks ago that landed slightly wrong and examine it from every angle until 3 in the morning. You are exhausted. And you are electric. Both. At the same time. Every night. And you have probably spent years wondering why. This video is that answer. And I need to tell you something before we go further. The reason is not what most people think. It is not a sleep problem. It is not a discipline problem. It is not something that a sleep hygiene routine or a melatonin supplement is going to touch. It goes deeper than that. Much deeper. And when you hear it, something in you is going to recognize it immediately, not as new information, as the thing you always felt but never had words for. Let me start with something that happens almost every night. You decide you are going to sleep early. You mean it. 10 o'clock, 11 at the latest. You are exhausted and you know it, and you have decided tonight is the night you actually take care of yourself. And then, something happens. You pick up your phone, just for a minute. You scroll through something you have already seen. You watch a video that is not particularly good, and then another one. You find yourself at 2 in the morning doing absolutely nothing important and completely unable to stop. Psychologists have a name for this behavior. They call it revenge bedtime procrastination, a term first identified in Chinese research studying overworked professionals who stayed awake not because they were not tired, but because the night was the only time that belonged to them. But the name matters less than the why. Because you are not staying awake, because the content is good. You know the content is not good. You are barely even watching it. You are staying awake because the night is the only part of your entire day that nobody owns. Think about what your day actually looks like from the moment your eyes open. You belong to your job, your messages, your responsibilities, the version of yourself that other people need you to be. You spend all day being what the world requires of you, the capable one, the reliable one, the one who handles things. And somewhere, around midnight, the world finally stops asking. No more emails, no more expectations, no more performing the version of yourself that functions correctly under observation. And that feeling, 2 hours of nobody needing anything, is so rare and so necessary that your exhausted body will sacrifice sleep to protect it. You are not failing at self-discipline. You are protecting the only hours in the day that feel like yours. And your body has decided correctly that 2 hours of freedom is worth more right now than 2 more hours of unconsciousness. But that is only the first layer. Because underneath the midnight scroll, there is something that has been running in the background of your mind for much longer than you realize. Something constant, something quiet, so constant it feels like silence. There is a part of you that never stops watching. Not watching the way you watch a screen. Watching the way a person watches a door they are not completely sure is locked. Watching the way someone who has been caught off guard before watches everything. Scanning the room when you walk in, reading the tone of a message before reading the words, noticing the half-second pause before someone answers. Feeling the shift in a conversation 3 sentences before anyone else notices it has shifted. Neuroscientists call this state hypervigilance, a nervous system that has been trained to stay alert because at some point in your past, Staying alert was necessary. The amygdala, the part of your brain responsible for detecting threat, becomes calibrated by experience. If your environment was unpredictable enough, inconsistent enough, emotionally unsafe enough, your brain learned that vigilance was not anxiety, it was adaptation. And the brain is extraordinarily good at what it learns. So good that it keeps doing it, long after the situation that required it is gone. This vigilance does not stop when you lie down. It does not pause because the lights are off and the room is quiet. It keeps scanning, all night, processing everything that happened. Filing the unresolved things, flagging the interactions that felt slightly off, building contingency plans for futures that may never arrive. Your body is horizontal. Your nervous system is on the night shift. And this is why you wake up tired. Not because you did not sleep, but because a part of you never stopped working. Now here is the third layer, the one underneath everything else. The one that is the actual answer to the question you have been carrying. You carry more than most people. Not more tasks, not more responsibilities. More weight. You feel things at a depth that is difficult to describe to someone who does not experience it. When something hurts, it does not just hurt, it settles in, it finds a place to live. Research in effective neuroscience identifies what is called high sensory processing sensitivity, a trait found in roughly 15 to 20% of humans across every culture studied. People with this trait process emotional and sensory information at a deeper level than the average nervous system. They notice more, they feel more, they absorb more. And here's what that means for sleep. Every single night, your brain is not just resting. It is trying to file everything you felt that day. Every conversation, every moment where something felt unresolved, every person whose emotional state you absorbed without choosing to, every version of yourself you performed for different audiences, everything you held back because the room was not safe for it. The research is clear on this. Emotional processing is one of the most metabolically expensive things the brain does. It requires more energy than cognitive work, more energy than physical exertion, more energy than almost any other mental activity. And you are doing it all day, and then all night. You are not tired from your day. You are tired from being someone who experiences the world at this depth, in a world that was not built for it, and that nobody around you sees. But look at your life. Every hard thing that has happened to you, you got through. Not because you stayed awake the night before worrying about it, but because when it arrived, you handled it. You are still here. Everything the vigilance was protecting you from, you survived it anyway. And you will survive what comes next. Not because you rehearse it at 2 in the morning, but because you are the kind of person who finds a way through things, even when you are exhausted. Especially when you are exhausted. Tonight, when you lie down and the thoughts begin their familiar circuit, try something different. Do not fight them. Just say something true. Say, nothing is on fire right now. Tomorrow's problems will exist tomorrow whether I think about them tonight or not. The people I love are safe. And for the next few hours, the world can hold itself without me. Because here is what I need you to understand. The exhaustion you feel is not a character flaw. It is not a medical mystery. It is the cost of operating at a depth most people never reach. You are tired because you are doing more than the world can see. Not more tasks. More everything. And that has always been one of the most invisible and most exhausting things a person can be. And one of the most quietly extraordinary. If this video named something you have felt for a long time without being able to explain it, this is what this channel is for. Decoded Psyche. Join now.